Hey guys, how's it going? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and I have a rally car for you today. I have this Mitsubishi Evolution 10. Now, if you don't know much about the Mitsubishi Evolution, basically what it is, it's a Mitsubishi Lancer, your mundane basic Lancer. They take that and they pump as much energy, design, power into that Lancer to turn it into this. Now, the Lancer 10 is the last generation of the Evo. So, unfortunately, Mitsubishi, in their great, ingenious minds, decided to kill off a car that they spent billions investing as their image market car, their rally god, their rally champion, and then they decided to kill it off. Why they would do that is beyond me, but hey, what do I know, right? I just have a YouTube channel. But, anyways, check out this Evo 10. When the Evo 10 came out into the market back in 2008, some people were a little upset because Mitsubishi decided to change the engine inside the hood. Now, Mitsubishi Evos have been known for taking lots and lots of power. Guys putting bigger turbos, bigger intercoolers, getting 600, 700 horsepower, and still running like an old Swiss clock. These, though, even though they don't have the same reputation, are still, you could add a lot of power, it's reliable, and you're going to get awesome performance. I really like what they did with the front of the car. You know, back in 2008, nobody was doing the open front grille yet. If you look today, so many brands, Lexus, even Toyota with the new Camry, they have this big, huge open area of the front of the car. Mitsubishi, believe it or not, was the first one to do this look all the way back in 2008. Yes, that's 10 years ago. I really like what this owner did. He added some extra carbon fiber splitter on each sides of the bumper. That kind of meshes in really well with the stock front splitter. Another thing that I like about these Evos is that I like it when car companies use a nice metal mesh grill over the intercooler because that's what's lurking behind there. This is a turbocharged 4-cylinder, 2 liters that has an intercooler up front. Intercooler is going to give you more power with your turbo and give you that extra performance. Take a look at the hood. This is something that really was specific to the Evos. This is a full aluminum hood. This is not a steel hood. This ducting and air restrictors, those are taking the air out and you're also ramming air in to help cool underneath the hood. I like looks like this. It gives the car such a distinctive standout from everything else. And it's also important that it's functional. You know, it's one thing to put a hood scoop on a car and it doesn't do anything. These things are totally functional, and I like that. Let's take a look at the side here. I really like what Mitsubishi did with the fenders. Now, like I said, this car is based off a Lancer. A Lancer is going to have a different, flatter fender. With these cars, because they have wider wheels, you're going to have to run a wider fender. These cars, like I said, would run in rally championships around the world. They're all-wheel drive. That gives it that ultimate performance. Now, this owner decided to go with a different style wheel, which, love it or hate it, you know, it's his car. I think it gives it a nice look to separate it from the rest of the pack. Many people were not happy with the standard wheel. They thought it was a little too basic, a little too plain Jane. So it's nice that this owner decided to do that. As you can see, these cars back in 2008 came with the Brembo brake package. It seems that Brembo, that name that was cut in racing, you're seeing them come up on all sorts of high performance cars. Let me show you something here you may have not noticed. On the rear, on the front fender here at the back of it, this is an actual vent that helps draw that air out. Remember how I showed you on the hood, you had those air restrictors that would take the air out? This does the same thing. We're pulling the air out from underneath the engine compartment, and that's keeping the engine temps down, which is going to give you more power. Let's take a look at the side here. You can see that this is based, like I said, off a Lancer, so it is a 4-door. This model is called a GSR. The GSR came with a 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I know you're like saying, hold on a second, 5-speed? Don't we have most cars with 6-speed? Yes. Mitsubishi was running the older gearbox because the older gearbox was a more tried and true gearbox, and it only came with a 5-speed. You could, back in 2008, get the MR edition, but that came with a dual clutch setup. And you know me, I'm not really big into the dual clutch setup. I like it when I see a traditional manual, and I'm glad to see that other people do and other companies are sticking with it. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back. Now, one thing that this owner did that I'm not really the biggest fan of is that he took the rear wing off. This car came with a rear wing from the factory. This is actually a different truck trunk that has a duckbill wing built into it. I do like the lights that they put on the back of these Evos, and I really like how they finished it off with this lower diffuser and the dual exhaust on each side. I think it gives it a nice muscular stance, a nice muscular look, even though the car is a four-cylinder. But remember, four-cylinder only goes so far. This thing is turbocharged, intercooled. It's putting out over, this particular one, I talked to the owner, is putting out over 400 horsepower. And with all-wheel drive, you're going to get 0 to 60 times in that low 4-second range. So this is nothing to laugh at when sitting next to it at a light. If you like seeing these types of cars, let me know. Leave a comment in that comment section. Check out my website, radiesrides.com. We have, as you can see, the Radies Rides merch. Go to bonfire.com and search Radies Rides. You can order your own shirt for my crowdfunding. Check out my Instagram, Radies Rides, with all original content. And if there's something you want to see in particular, let me know. I'll get it on there. And like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.